All right, guys, welcome back to Turbo Time. Sorry, it's been a few weeks since I've been able to give you guys an update. We've been busy with a lot of personal things here. Obviously, the car is no longer wrapped. This is its original color. I've decided we are not going to wrap it any other color. We're going to do some clear PPF and kind of leave it this way for a while. I will be giving you guys an overview today on the entire build, all the parts that are currently on the car, and the cost breakdown of getting the car to where it's currently at. I will be bringing you guys a couple more install videos here in the next few days. We are going to be updating to the black market race catch can setup, PCV delete, vent to air, and we will be installing the twisted tuning diff brace and bushing lockouts. So look out for those. In the meantime, let's get into it. All right, guys, so I'm gonna start in the engine bay and work our way back. The car is on an Omega 65 turbo kit from Remnant. We've also added their 4-inch turbo back Leviathan exhaust. The 65 Omega turbo kit comes with the intake as well as the charge pipe when you buy it from Remnant. We're running the Alibaba manifold, AKA Beamer Network, torque coils. There's a bunch of different ones on the market that I believe to all be from the same factories. This one is working flawlessly. Excellent heat dissipation. I have no complaints with this manifold. We're running Id1050 injectors. I'm running the TMS plug and play harness for the reflex as well as a Motive Reflex Plus. I did make my own lines for the flex fuel and all of the port injection connections. Check my other video if you guys want to know how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and set up the quick jacks for you guys so we can get under the car and I can show you everything on the underside. All right, so as far as wheels, we are on Weld S77 17s, both front and rear. We have the Visconti Stage 1 fuel pump, as well as the Precision Raceworks top hat. I will have a separate install video for the diff brace, but this is the Leviathan exhaust. It's a 4-inch downpipe to 4-inch oval, and then it splits into two 3-inch pipes. This one in particular has had the mufflers deleted. It had 2 mufflers. Even as it is, it's not terribly loud. All the SPL arms, the entire SPL package. So that would be toe links, traction bars, upper control arms, sway bar end links, and all that stuff to round up the suspension. We have the G-force axles in there. Can we focus on them? We got the G-force axles. And that pretty much rounds it up as far as the modifications. So let's get into the cost breakdown of everything. So obviously, as part of this build breakdown, I haven't mentioned any of the cosmetic tidbits that are kind of all over the car, little carbon accessories and that kind of stuff. If anybody's interested in exactly what they are, I can make a separate video on just cosmetic stuff, but obviously that stuff's not necessary in order to make 700 horsepower or attempt to make a 9-second pass in a stock engine, stock transmission Supra. Some of the other bits are possibly not necessary as well, like the SPL 4-link setup, not absolutely necessary. There's plenty of guys running great times on all stock suspension. I did remove the Eibach lowering springs that it previously had, and it is sitting on stock shocks and springs. It's just how I've been able to achieve the best 60-foot and the best alignment settings available to me on the big tire. Other stuff that may not be necessary for you is stuff like the axles. If you're not going to a prep drag strip and you're mainly doing roll racing, maybe you can get away without doing the axles. Really, you just need the turbo, fuel, and some cooling. But either way, let's go ahead and get into the full cost of everything. So the Omega 65 turbo kit from Remnant is $3,600 to your door. It brings the charge pipe, it brings the intake, and I think it's a great deal. I want to say it's the best bang for the buck on the market, period. It's a dual ball bearing 65 millimeter turbo. It spools nearly like stock because of the size of the exhaust housing. It's not truly a hybrid, and it's not truly a full frame. It's something that's kind of bridging the gap, and there's several guys that have made upwards of 900 horsepower on this turbo. So at 700 some odd horsepower, it's not out of breath. The car is currently on about 34 PSI, and it drives good, it runs good, it feels good. The intake manifold. Total cost on the intake manifold is something like $1,400. It does come with the fuel rail. We'll call it $1,500 for the intake manifold because you do need the spacer, that phenolic spacer. I ended up getting mine from Beamer Network. I bought the CSF one, and fitment was terrible and their support was equally terrible. Had nothing to do with the manifold. It didn't line up correctly on the engine side of things. So do not recommend the CSF spacer, just from my personal experience. The reflex, I bought mine from TMS as a complete kit, and they send it to you with the ethanol sensor, with the low pressure fuel sensor, with the reflex, their complete plug and play harness, and their CAN bus integration to be able to integrate with MHD, BM3, Ecutech, or whatever it is that you are using to tune your car. So that kit's about $1,600 from them. I sourced the Id1050s used from a local gentleman, local to me, who he cleans and services injectors, and it was a set off of his car. I paid $700 for those. I know retail for them is closer to $1,000, but he's a trusted source to me, so I had no problem picking them up used and saving a few bucks. The Visconti low pressure fuel pump is about $1,200, and it comes with the wire harness and everything you need to integrate it to the reflex. It brings a great bracket to mount the pump, and it brings a Walbro 525, which is kind of the industry standard as far as aftermarket pumps go. It's commonly referred to as the Hellcat pump, and it's an excellent functioning fuel setup. I did decide to add the precision top hat. That's another one of those optional things. You don't really need it, but it does have two other in and out ports that's going to allow me to separate my port injection from my direct injection here in the near future. So I will be able to run my port injection on a return style fuel system, and it will run independently from the car's direct injection. And all of the guys that are chasing more power than what I'm currently making have divorced that system, and they run independently. There's a few other odds and ends. The axles, they're from G-Force. They were $2,200. And the SPL arms and everything, like I said, those are optional. You can get that package from Titan Motorsports, as I did. It's their 4-link setup, the same setup they used in their shop car that has been deep into the 8s, and it's still running that same suspension setup in the rear on stock shocks and springs. So that setup is about $1,600 for the full SPL kit. The Leviathan turbo back exhaust that is attached to this Omega 65 is also a great bang for the buck kit. It's the full exhaust system as well as the downpipe. And that'll run you about $16.50, I believe, free shipping. Alec at Remnant is great to work with. He's an awesome resource. And it's a good sounding exhaust. It's quiet how it comes. I picked this system up and it already had the muffler delete because I did pick this up used from a local buddy, local Supra buddy who was taking it off in favor of a single exit SP1. So I got a good deal on it and couldn't pass it up. At first I was hesitant with the muffler delete, but even with the muffler delete, it's not excessively loud. It's actually a pretty good sounding exhaust. All right, guys, so the last piece of the puzzle is the Femto unlock for all us 21 and up. There's very few 2021 6-port cars that are unlocked. Of course, all the 2-port cars are unlocked or just need a bench unlock. The rest of us have to send our DME to Finland for a Femto unlock. I have a DIY video on that as well. But the cost of the Femto unlock is about $1,100. If you're doing it yourself, it's substantially more money if you're having one of the various shops do it for you. Some of them hand deliver the ECUs and that adds to the cost, but it all depends on what you feel comfortable with, as well as whatever tuning software you're gonna use. In my case, I'm using MHD Plus. It's a very close second to EcuTech. I just can't justify the cost of EcuTech, although it is a better program. What it takes to get the EcuTech on a 21 and up Femto unlocked Supra is just not worth it, in my opinion. You need a cloned ECU and you've got to go down a whole nother rabbit hole of cost. So in total, what this Supra has cost to build without counting wheels and tires is about $17,000. If we count wheels and tires, these are S77, so they're the forged version of these welds on Mickey Thompson ET Street Rs. So the wheel and tire package is somewhere in the neighborhood of about $7,000. You don't need $7,000 wheels to go fast. Some regular welds or pretty much any drag pack will get you down the strip. Stock front wheels, lots of guys are putting down impressive times on just a regular weld or anything else available commercially. So the final cost breakdown of everything that's currently on the car is about $16,000, just a few dollars over. I didn't account for miscellaneous fittings and fuel fittings and just stuff that I've bought and tried. We are still in the market to build the transmission. I'm either gonna go with a spool stage 2 or we're gonna go with an ATS stage 2. I will be doing that as a DIY setup. We will build it here in the garage and I will bring you guys that build and show you how we do it. That's pretty much it for now, guys. I do have a couple of videos coming up. We're gonna do a video on the twisted tuning diff brace and the lockouts, as well as the black market race catch can. I did include both of those items in my estimate of about $16,500 or so that's in the car. Brian from ATS or Spool are kind of in the same neighborhood of price if you're doing it yourself, so it would be another $4,000. So, and here I actually have the best time the car has put down to date. We were still tuning. I'm hoping to go to this Friday's test and tune now that the car is fully dialed in and be able to make a pass and see if we can't best this. But so far the car's been 6.6 at 110 in the 8th mile, but mile an hour dictates a 6.2 is what it should be doing based on the mile an hour. That was with a 1.6 60 foot. I know we can improve on that and get a little bit faster. But essentially what that would translate to in the quarter mile is something in the neighborhood of like a 10.2, maybe a 10.1. So I definitely believe the car has a 9-second pass in it while still on the stock trans. We will be making a trip to the quarter mile strip. It's about 2 hours from here, trying to get a group of guys together where we can all go. And I hope to see some 9-second time slips. The weather has finally gotten good. I will be able to bring you guys some 60 to 130s and maybe some live action from Mexico here in the near future, so stay tuned. As always, man, if you guys like these videos, share, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.